Alright, got a little project I started yesterday. I'll videotape it today. What we're doing is changing out the hubs, putting locking hubs on. They call it a free spin, so it stops the rotation of completely the front differential and half the transfer case. This is from spyntec, the company. It uses mile marker Dana 71 ton hubs. I had to make a socket yesterday. The one I had wasn't big enough. I couldn't find a right size at the hardware store, I mean the auto parts store. So I welded on a couple little tabs and now it fits. So I want to get to it. I got this side wheel off. I'm going to pull the brakes, the rotor, and then I'll bring you guys back when I start disassembling the unit bearing and all that. That's the other thing that's coming off that's prone on these, is the unit bearing that's going bad. That goes bad. These are okay. But so alright, I'll bring you guys back when I get more progress. Hopefully I have enough battery. So I went ahead and pulled the 4 bolts off here. Got these guys on the back of the unit bearing. So I'm going to go ahead and I pulled the pin out of here. 1 11/16". I've had this off already once before. So we'll pull the unit bearing off. Have my screwdriver there. It comes off really easy after you anti-seize it and have had it off before. So the axle comes right out. You guys seen me do this before. I get behind it and just pry a little bit. And there's a little small axle. Now, I have to replace the stub shaft with the newer one, the longer version. You can see the difference. So I'm going to go ahead and knock these joints out. They still feel okay. I could replace them, but let me think. If they're smooth, they could use some grease. There's a grease fitting on it, so we'll do that. I'll get this greased up. Looks like the seal's leaking a little bit in there again, but I won't have that problem, only because it'd only be working in 4-wheel drive when I lock it in. So I'm going to get the stub shaft off, and then I'll bring you guys back and we'll continue. Okay, we're recording now. So there's three seals in the directions. You've got like a thrust washer, it's plastic. Beveled edge, I don't know if you can see it. There's a beveled edge here. It goes towards the truck. Then there's a, they call it a V-groove seal. That goes on. And then there's like a bearing seal. Because in the hub itself, if you can see, there's a needle bearing. So that seal goes in here. Just like that, really easy to put in. Thing I found yesterday is, since there's a groove right here for the hub snap ring, is to put the seal on first. So we're going to do that. Go ahead and put this seal on. I got the axle stub on already. This thing's a little, I probably should have put it on before I slid it in the truck, but it's not too bad. Then I'll do the thrust washer. I'm not really sure if all of this needs to be greased. If it's not, well, oh well, but I grease pretty much everything. And this is the V-groove seal rides right here. The grease I'm using, not sponsored by, but Redline. There is grease in the bearing in here, but you know, a little extra never hurts. Then here's the other bearing seal. So the flat surface is going to go against the hub. So I usually put this on. This is what I did on the other side. I figured all this out yesterday when I worked on the other side, so that one took me most of the day. I was running around looking for that socket. I guess it's for a Dana 80. Because these are 1-ton hubs. Locking hubs are for 1 ton. So we'll see how this works out. And then of course, for ABS sensor, so that goes up. Put the seal in. And there, it's in. Okay, so in the directions, oh, where's my bolts? You need to cut the bolts down. Because on the factory unit bearing, they're threaded all the way through, so the bolt can stick out. You can see there's a mark right there where the bolt stuck out. So I'll cut it a little bit shorter because these are not threaded all the way through. They're captured inside. It's dirty in there. Metal shavings. That's where the tone ring sits. So I'm going to go cut the bolts. I will come back and we will bolt this inner hub, I guess you'd call it, on, and then we'll move forward from there. Okay. I do not have a bearing greaser, so this is how I do it. Just keep scraping it. And as you can see, it will slowly pack it. Now it's greased. I usually throw some more in the hub here. Put some on the race. this on. It's already packed in here. Then there's the lip seal here you're supposed to put on. I already installed that. And then I installed the rear seal. And you got the tone ring for your ABS. Actually, pull it back off. I didn't put, come on. I didn't put a grease on the back side of that. The V groove here. There we go. Come on. What's the problem? I just had it a second ago. Alright, I got grease everywhere. I'll be right back. Alright. Here we go. Where's my homemade tool? The neighbor's washing his car. Let me move you guys a little bit. If I could do this without getting in the way of the camera. There we go. Now, if anybody hasn't worked on four-wheel drive stuff before, you have garbage. You have lock rings. Here's one. Here's the second one. Actually, this is the first one. The first one has a pin. You can see it right there. And then the groove fits in the slot in the hub, and it locks this from turning. And then you run this one down. So the instructions say to run this one down to 50 pounds. So that's what we'll do. Torque wrench. My tool. Almost there. See? The socket was, it's a 4-pin 2.375. I needed a 4-pin by 2 3/4. This one was a little bit small, but made it to work. So, let's torque this to 50. It's tight. Keeps tightening up a little bit more and more. They say rock it back and forth. And they say loosen it a quarter. And that's where it should be. Usually if I loosen it to a quarter, this thing's pretty loose, so I'll give it a little hand tight. See if this will fit, or if I need to go either direction. Of course, it's jammed in there now. I need to go get a pick. I'll be right back. As you can see, the pin is in the hole. So we'll go ahead and throw this other one in. This one needs to be torqued between 125 and 150. I go 130. I don't know why they just give you a range when they just doesn't make sense, but okay. $90, $102. 120 and 130. There we go. Loosen the torque wrench back to 0. And I'll, next thing to do is put the hub in. So I'll go get that and come back. Next thing I need to do, I took the hub apart. These are mile marker stainless steels. The worn hubs were extra $100. And then, well, I didn't get the Dynatrack because I bought spyntec. As much as I four-wheel this is going to be fine. I mostly use it for pulling the trailer. So this needs to go in here and then push it in. So I'm going to finagle that in, and then I'll bring you back once I get all that. Alright, took some finessing, but I got it. I'm kind of zoomed in. So there's a groove right in here. It's all the way in. It's not really a snap ring, it's kind of a multi-layer. Just start putting that in. Just work it all the way around. There. And then snap ring pliers. That's in. Okay, where's my grease? I'll go ahead and put the front cap on. It's got an O-ring. But you know, grease keeps water out. So I'll put a little thin layer. nuts in it. One thing I don't want to forget is the ABS sensor. I gotta put that on still, but that's quick. And then assemble the brake. Run these in. Just snug. I don't run them too tight. You don't need to. I don't know if there's a torque spec for it, but and then Annie sees the lugs. There we go. Locked. Free. For some reason it's not going all the way over. So I'll figure that out. ABS sensor, and put the brakes back together and it should be done. I'll bring you guys back then. Okay, she's done. She's done and she's cleaned. Got it all washed. Free. Lock. Has to be moved a little bit. But yep. Oh, I was going to show you too. I got the exhaust brake on, and then the manifold is done too. So I finished that the other day. But these are lock, unlock. You can see the airline for the brake. You can actually see the cylinder in there. Right there. Yep. So we'll be hooking the trailer up tomorrow, actually. Jeep needs a watch next. But anyway, hope you guys have a good New Year's. I'm going to sign off on this one. Until the next time. Thanks. See ya.